Thanks for joining us. We're the Hutch Homes Group, and this is our weekly market update. And before we get into some very sexy numbers, please remember, if you are liking our weekly reports, please subscribe and like and share. That would be great. So anyways, let's get into it. So we're doing like kind of like a good old fashioned market update, right? Numbers are really important. We can talk about all these things that we're feeling in the market, but some of you want to see the data.
Yeah, sexy numbers. So that question everybody asks us, how's the market? We're going to answer that a little bit. It's still a seller's market. Surprise, surprise.
It is a surprise to some people because you have some sellers that are expecting these offers to blow them out of the water because what they hear on the news, and they're like, oh, well, the market must be changing. It's like, well, still a good market.
Yeah. You can see this market index is showing that it's still a very strong seller's market with, the Altos report comes out and they measure everything across the country, but this is just for Portland. And we're seeing that gauge go up. But John, what is the market index?
Well, I'm really excited that we have, amongst all the tools we have in our arsenal for enabling us to interpret the market, this is probably the most cleverest little tool. And it's an index between 0 and 100. And it shows that about the 30 mark on this index, that's a balanced market. So if we saw this big needle approaching the white line, we'd see things in a balanced market, whether it be a good mix of buyers to sellers, and everything would be sweet. And that's what it's been like for years and years. Mm-hmm. But now we are in this seller's market. We're index of what, 93, 92 something.
92.
And it's pretty much the same last month to this month. So this is a good gauge. Well, it's 92. It's a good gauge of whether the market is increasing towards a seller's market by buyers, or trending towards a buyer's market.
John, what city? You said that there was a city that was at 100. What city was that?
Oh, the hottest market in the USA right now is Denver. There's 3 markets: Denver, Arizona, and Tampa are really extreme markets. Denver is the leading one, and their gauge is up at 100. Right,
their numbers mile high.
Right, mile high. That's a good one. And the average there, the medium price is 700,000. We're down just a smudge below 600.
Yeah, let's go look at that, John. Scroll down a little.
Okay. Now, the neat thing about this index, we can look at neighborhoods, we can look down to zip codes, and we can see from week to week how this changes. So,
and we look at condos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's
look at condos.
Let's look at condos here, and we can see what's changed now.
Ooh, look at that.
It said like 474 for the average price. I think I saw that.
Yeah.
That's just interesting. Okay.
So rather than 92 on this index scale, we're down to 51, and we can see that this month versus last month, or today versus last month, we've seen a trend down. So it's still a strong seller's market, but it's trending towards being a more balanced market. Mm-hmm. Yes. This doesn't mean that prices are changing necessarily, but it's definitely towards where we want to see for a healthy market.
A little less competition.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you have to change it back to the single families.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so it shows us that for a single family residences, $599.9 is the median price. And we can see here, we can see that we've seen increasing over the past little period. You can see.
That's the trend, that it's starting to tick up instead of going down.
Yeah, we see these things
but it's
fluctuate.
a little balanced, It is balancing out, it's plateauing a little.
That's kind of more like appreciation, though.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just more of it's just going to be a steady thing.
Yeah, and with historically, we're looking at like a 4% appreciation every year. That's what it has been. It's been very high past couple of years, and we're expecting. I think we said that in the last update that we're anticipating 9% for this year.
Yes, gone are
little
the
bit.
days of the 20% in appreciation,
Yeah.
probably
Don't
for a
jinx
while.
it,
Anyway.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't jinx it.
Well, for a while, I think 9% is perfectly fine.
But
The other
Canadian
thing-
rent though, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
yep.
almost
That's
as-
plateauing out a little bit too. Like it had
Yeah.
a sharp increase and now it's just kind of balancing.
Yeah.
in April. Yeah.
Uh,
I also like the amount that there were this 25% in price decreases. And we'll talk about that in another, well, we probably already have talked about that in a past video about the price decreases. That's increasing a little bit.
Yeah. A couple of healthy things here. The inventory, we can see that going up.
Hallelujah. Yep.
Yeah, we've seen signs of that. And market action report, it's been going crazy over this year. But since April 15th, we've seen market action index going down, ticking towards that neutral market. So
What was the highest it was at for us?
it was there
93. So we're still pretty
Still-
much at the top of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
It's plateauing, which I think is great to kind of see that what we've been talking about and predicting is actually kind of true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a theme, right?
Yeah.
Plateau balance. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
Not
And
There's
we
a metaphor in there somewhere too, I think.
Yeah. And one thing we notice with price changes or inventory changes or transaction changes, things tend to spread from the hottest area to other areas. They sort of progress. And we look at the hot Denver market where we've seen several indicators that it's moving from a extreme seller's market to a more towards a neutral market. So these are good signs for the future.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
And this is a really great graph. This one excites us, right? This is a sexy graph for us
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
it validates what we talk about all the time with our buyers of, like how Portland market does have seasonal changes and how this, like a lot of buyers decide to get out of the market right when it starts getting good. We're already like feeling that a little bit of buyers putting the brakes on when they really should just keep going forward, even though it's been rough.
We see
Yeah.
that a lot. And I think it's fascinating to see where people start to cool off in the holiday months and like November on.
Yeah.
And that is
Let's
actually
walk
really-
them through this graph though.
Yeah.
So, because like we just got to steady on it. What does it mean, John?
All right, so we're looking at price decreases here. We see in the Christmas New Year period, we see it should have more price decreases. We also have less inventory, less buyers, and people that do have their homes on the market start to get serious or desperate, and we see more.
Well, if you're selling in winter, you're motivated, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
so you're
absolutely.
motivated. But
Yeah.
look at the months as it goes up to reach December.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like that's the fall, right? That's end of summer, fall, you're seeing more price reductions.
Yeah.
And then what do we see as we hit the new year? It
Mhm.
tanks, way less price reductions as you're
Yeah.
coming into the new year, this
Yeah.
first 6 months of our market, which is what we're just been through.
Yeah.
So we will start seeing that go up. We're going to start seeing that's part of the plateau, but that's not price, like overall price reductions. It's just that the appreciation won't be as higher.
Yes.
And
right.
it isn't saying what the home actually ends up going for, because you could have a $30,000 price reduction and then get
Offers
two
over.
offers and go over that.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So
Or you could be way overpriced and that's why you went under. That's why you had to reduce your price, which we see a lot in the end of the summer. Like
Right.
Yeah.
we see that a lot.
This 40% is a normal sort of number for overall for the United States over the years.
okay.
So
Yeah.
we're
I think it's good because I think it's good to see this because it gives buyers out there an indication of when a really good time to buy is. And frankly, like almost any time is a good time to buy. You can see that like as right now, as we go like from May into the rest of the year, we're going to see more and more price reductions, but it doesn't mean the prices are going down. It's really important to put that into context and remember that prices aren't necessarily going down. It's just houses that are priced at the top are having more price reductions.
Yeah.
It's an indicator of seller sentiment.
Yeah.
So, and that's huge, right?
Mhm.
Like if you have more motivated sellers, it's a good time to buy.
It is, it really is. So thank you.
Okay. Do you want to look at some more numbers? No?
Yeah.
What numbers you got?
Oh, I got heaps of numbers.
Oh, this one's a good one, actually.
Yeah.
This is really interesting.
Yeah, what they do is they split the market into four quarters, and so the bottom quarter, the average price for that bottom quarter is 426,500. This is for single family homes, and this shows us a characteristic of the average for this price range. 7 days on the market, very low, very low. These are in line with some of the hottest markets in the States right now. And it's interesting that for the bottom three sections, all but the highest quarter is
Yeah. The highest portion.
where the
Let's
days on
do
the
that
market
one
is
over
doubled.
because I think Johnny was going to say that.
Oh, it
Start
doesn't matter. We don't need to start over. We're talking about it.
One thing we notice when things start changing from this extreme hot market where there's all these crazy offers, 100,000 over list price. So as the market cools, the realtors start to get really crazy. And Johnny, you've been showing homes. What sort of feedback? What are you seeing that's happening with realtors?
Well, yeah. So last week, I think I had 3 or 4 realtors call me, like a few days, like the next day, or and then the 2 days after, and asking, how the clients liked it, if they were going to be writing an offer, and really encouraging offers, telling me how motivated their sellers were. And a month and a half ago, that I didn't get that call period.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would get the automated Showtime, emails like,
Yeah.
give your feedback, but I'm getting phone calls, now from listing agents, and the offers I have been writing haven't really been over, but they've been strong, like in terms, this good offers, solid offers. And I'm getting like just huge thanks from listing agents just for bringing offers like that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And
It's a change in expectation, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
sellers anticipating multiple offers right out the gate. And that's
Yeah.
just kind of changing. Like it's not the first or second day, it's 7 days later, right?
So
Well,
a changing market.
there's still that, like, I think it's more important now than ever to have that well-staged, well-represented home that's online than in person, because those are still just going. I'm still seeing neighborhoods and houses that I get an alert, and then the next morning I get another alert that it's pending already.
Yeah.
There
I
are-
gotta say, I did a search last night for houses under 700 and like I was shocked at how many had cell phone photos still in like
Yeah.
this day and age. And it makes me angry, but
And that's gonna change, people's.
that's going to change the days on market, right?
Yeah.
That's the majority. But also with that, 14 days, 7 days, like that, those are numbers we have been seeing like throughout the most competitive. But what will be hard to delineate, and that's why it's important that like we break these things down, is because we're in it, right? We work in it. But those 7 days on market, that might be one offer. Whereas in the hottest part of the market, that was 10 offers, 15
Yeah.
offers, 20 offers. It's still 7 days on the market. But so we're at 7 days on the market. So it's still going fast, but just not as many offers. And that's where we're seeing right now. In not every case, there's still some real competitive ones.
Yeah.
But in a lot of other cases of ones that probably would have been multiple offers or 1, 2. I mean, I got an offer accepted this week. One offer, then at the last minute, one other, but we still got it, but still, if that was 10 offers, the chances would have been a lot less.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully numbers were exciting for you. They're exciting for us, clearly.
I mean, we talk about them so much, and I hope that you know that we can break them down. There's meaning behind the numbers. And if you ever have questions about them, you can contact us. We can talk about it until we're blue in the face.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching.